take those two right turns, and when they make the final turn, they can begin to hear the crowd and the noise of the open end of the stadium.
Here it is, the most exciting 25 seconds in college football.
What is up, Clemson fam? Welcome to Two Right Turns, a Clemson football podcast. I'm your host, Daja Davidson. I've got three incredible guests for you today. I like to let you guys introduce yourselves because you can do it better than anybody can. Give us a little bit about who you are, position, where you're from, and a little, little seasoning of something that's fun about you.
Yeah, I'll start it off. I'm Walker Parks. I'm a graduate student here, working on my master's now. I got my undergraduate in criminal justice. I'm from Lexington, Kentucky. I play offensive line, played right tackle for a couple of years, and then I play right guard now, working my way back in off some injuries. And a little something cool, I guess, is I'm in a motorcycle club with these guys.
Wait, with these guys?
Yeah, and there's a couple more on the team.
This is the Sons of Anarchy.
Yeah, I don't know about
like
that.
Five.
We
almost
softer,
got all the members here.
Yeah.
Not sure, though.
Oh, okay. So we're like over 50% of the membership.
For sure.
Got it.
Yeah, this is pretty much it.
They're like, this is pretty much it plus two. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm Blake Miller. I'm from Strongsville, Ohio. I'm the right tackle here. I'm going into my junior year. I'm here studying financial management, and I guess I too am in the biker gang, and I guess I was the second member, if I remember that correctly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think officially you were the second member. Yeah,
I was the second member.
So who was the founder?
Right there.
Mr. Parks.
Well, I got to give respect where it's due. Matt Bockhorst started it off, and he's going to love this if he listens to it, but he had a Honda Grom that he used to ride around campus. It's like a baby motorcycle. They're like 125. It's still a motorcycle, but they're tiny. You probably see them all over campus. They look like a moped. And he inspired me to get one, and then I sold that to Colin, and then Colin sold it to another offensive lineman that started this like cycle, and then we got bigger bikes, and so it kind of like rambled on. So I guess I'm like the OG of like the guys here now, but Matt Bockhorst kind of kicked it off.
But yes, okay.
Before I get started, I do want to make one comment. A Honda Grom is not a moped. There's a significant difference there. I don't know what it is, but there is one.
Okay.
But I'm Colin Sadler. I'm a redshirt sophomore offensive lineman here. I'm from right up the road. I'm from Inman, South Carolina, about an hour or so from here. And a fun fact about me is, well, I mean, obviously, as I stated, I'm already in the motorcycle gang, so that's out of the way. But I grew up on a horse farm, grew up helping my mom with like horses and stuff like that. So
The motorcycle gang.
Yes.
I need more details. Like, is there an official name?
I wouldn't say we have an official name yet.
Okay.
I think we're still kind of working on it.
Yeah, and I'm sure we'll get into this later, but it's kind of just like Omega Lambda. It's like a section off of that. That's kind of like our fraternity that we created, which is not like an actual fraternity. It's more of like a service fraternity that was just like an excuse for us to hang out. But I mean,
That's
it is
fine.
no, it's bonding for all the offensive line. I mean, it's gotten to a point where the rest of the team is involved too, because anybody's welcome. You can't be like an actual member unless you're on the offensive line, obviously. But everybody's welcome. I mean, we have like dinner parties, we cook out, everyone comes over to the house and hangs out, watches UFC fights, whatever game is on. But so I mean, the biker club, biker gang, whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's just a couple of roommates riding around, but I mean, it's just kind of like a section off of that we like to joke about.
I think it's more like a motorcycle club at this point since we don't have a name, but we are open to name suggestions.
Alrighty.
If anyone
Definitely.
would maybe want to help us
Social,
out with that.
this is where you drop that in the comments. Now, we're not saying that the best one wins, but like it will be thrown into the pool of options.
Definitely.
I'm sure the fans are excited to hear that the starting offensive linemen are riding motorcycles around.
Right? They're like, someone stop this
Maybe
immediately.
cut this out from the coaches hearing this.
I know about Omega Lambda, but that doesn't mean that the full fan base knows about Omega Lambda. So you gave us like a real quick, brief look into, obviously, Omega Lambda for offensive line, but like, where did this come from? I know that there's so much to this. Go ahead. I'm going to let you take this one.
I mean, where do I even start, honestly? So I guess things really started to take off with Omega Lambda last summer. We realized that, a lot of guys were just sitting around the house, not really taking full advantage of our weekdays. Because, I mean, obviously during the summer, we're fairly busy. We have workouts in the morning, maybe come back and do some like field work in the afternoon. But outside of that, our days are pretty much wide open. So we were really just finding an excuse to get everybody together, really get the team closer. And that's kind of where this whole idea took off. We started doing stuff, like every Sunday we would go to the rowing docks. We'd all just go out there and swim. We might throw the lacrosse ball around a little bit, take a speaker out to the Y Beach up the road from there. But honestly, it's just grown so much, and it's been really cool to see a bunch of guys come together a lot more on the team. I think it's helped our unit a lot.
This is what I mean. I feel like this is one of those things where, especially when you're in your position groups and those sorts of things, there's always something that comes out of it. And this feels like the offensive line's version of, some of those things, right? And I'd like you to talk about how this impacts, of course, your relationship off the field, but as teammates, how does being in this fraternity and going out to Y Beach and these sorts of things help you on the field as well?
Yeah, that's one thing that I've noticed that I really enjoy about it, because when they started talking about it, I was like, oh yeah, that sounds fun, like it's cool or whatever. And it really did. Like, it kind of started out as a joke, and then like people started, I think one of them made like an Instagram page or something, and people started following it and like actually liking it, and then like some fans started following it. And then like guys on the team started joking around, like, oh, Omega Lambda, like we got like our own frat or whatever. And then like other people started coming hanging out at Y Beach, or like when we would do a cookout, like random people would show up and be like Omega Lambda. So it kind of like spiraled into this thing, and we got like T-shirts made, and then we got like flags that we like hang up. Like we had one in the position room, have them like in the houses and stuff. But it's helped a ton, especially like on the field and off the field bonding, because I mean that's the biggest thing when you look at a team. Their success rate is definitely, it comes down to chemistry. Because it's just like high school football. Like all the teams I played on, the best football teams that I played on, like it's been with my best friends. Like we all know each other. You're playing for the guy next to you. It's not, it's not just a bunch of like random athletes put together. Because I think, especially around the world of college football right now, if you look at all the top teams like competing every year for the playoffs, like everybody has the talent to make it to the top. The Final Four, or I guess now the Final 12, and compete for the national championship. But the guys that make it, if you see, like you look at Michigan last year. And a couple other the top schools, like extremely close. Like they all have each other's backs. They're all like supporting each other on social media, always taking each other's backs. And I think what we've started to do here with Omega Lambda a little bit, and there's a couple other like parts of the team. It's not. I'm not saying like Omega Lambda is like, oh, we're fixing everything. We still got a lot to work on. But like I said, running backs show up, tight ends show up, corners show up, safety, the defensive line, like everybody comes together and hangs out. It's no longer like we joke around and like it is the offensive line frat like we started, but it's really for anybody. And like people that aren't a part of it, whatever they come to, people that aren't even a part of the football team, it's just really it's a great opportunity for us to bond, maybe like go grab dinner or talk to somebody that you don't talk to in here. And that's what like my perspective has changed on that, because I've been here for 5 years, and like the whole time, like I've been with the offensive line, like I've been in the bubble, and like I'll talk to anybody, like I don't care. I don't limit myself to the offensive line, but it's given me an opportunity to think now, like seeing the bonding that we've had through the fraternity that we created, like now I take extra time to go introduce myself to the freshman safety. Just like,
right.
I'll just go at, like, hey, what's your name? Like, okay, I'm Walker. Like, nice to meet you. If you need anything, let me know. And just remember like what I felt like as a freshman, and feeling like if I saw like, oh, they got their own club or like they got their own frat or whatever, like I'm probably not welcome to that. I'm a freshman. Like I got to earn my stripes. Like it's really for the whole team. You don't have to be a certain position. You don't have to be a certain age. It really doesn't matter. It's just like the idea of it all is to create bonding. So when we take the field, everybody knows each other. Like we're all on the same mission. Like we're all on the same mission anyway, but now we actually know each other and actually mean something to like work next to each other.
No, I feel that. Blake, what's like your top tier memory of like Omega Lambda festivities, like shenanigans, activities? What do you go to?
There's a lot of them. I'm really trying to think of, I guess, one in particular. I think our most common thing that we do is probably it's been termed the grill and chill, where we kind of just go over, and it's normally one of two houses that we go over to, and kind of just everyone will kind of pitch in, buy some ground beef, make some burgers, buy some bratwurst, kind of got the whole spread going, steaks, everything. And we'll have whoever is deemed the, I guess, grill master.
I was
that
about
night.
to ask, who is said grill master? Like
Will
who?
Putnam.
Will
Yeah.
Putnam.
Okay.
Or Peyton Pitts. It's one of those two.
Yeah, depending on the house.
Is
the
it
grill
full
master.
like dad mode grill? Like, is it like, a little apron and like?
I wish.
No, I mean, does somebody have the spray bottle that's like keeping the meat? Like, is it that okay, yes.
yeah.
Peyton is
for
Yeah,
for
sure.
sure.
Peyton takes it very
Peyton
seriously.
Pitts is full dad mode when it comes to the grill. I mean, I look in our cupboard and we got more spices than I even knew probably was in a grocery store. Like he's got everything, but he's really good on the grill, so we're definitely thankful.
I
to
feel
have
like
him
you're
around.
supposed to be in some sort of like slide, like flip flop when you're grilling. Like that gives to me like the ultimate dad vibes. Like, is
Yeah,
everybody in
100%.
like Nike slides? And,
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Crocs.
Yeah. I mean, that's how it goes.
Something like that.
Yeah.
He's normally in his Crocs when he's grilling it up.
Yeah. I mean, is there another shoe? I don't know. Like Crocs, like, hello,
Barefoot.
somebody needs to be sponsored because like that's what you're supposed to do.